Hey there. Today we're going to be looking at a formal analysis of Marcel Duchamp's Fountain. Fountain was made in 1917, around the ending of World War I. This piece of art is a ready-made, meaning that it's made up of industrialized or mass-produced materials that have been turned into a work of art. Fountain is from a movement called Dada, making it a very simplistic work. And the point of Dada was to challenge what the meaning of art was. When we look at Fountain, we see that it consists of just a urinal, and on that urinal there's a signature that says Armut in black paint. The urinal is also displayed on its side, as the holes that would normally be on the bottom face toward the viewer. So to look at some of the analysis of Fountain, we see Duchamp uses elements of design such as shape, color, and texture. As far as the shape goes, Fountain has a organic shape, as it has some curves in it, but it also has some geometric shapes with the holes with the central circle in the front, and also with the small holes in the back from the viewer perspective. The fountain also has a smooth texture, which we know from the porcelain. And the urinal itself has a little bit of an off-white color, making it seem a little bit dirty. We also can notice some principles of design in Duchamp's work. First, Duchamp uses emphasis and subordination. The emphasis is on the urinal itself. That's the first thing that the viewer notices. And the viewer later looks for something that could supplement the urinal, something else that's not just more than just the urinal. And then they see the signature, which is subordinate to the urinal. We also see some contrast. We see a black, messy signature that is streaked across the bottom of the urinal, which contrasts to the white, smooth urinal. We also see scale used. Scale shows that this urinal is a normal size, causing the viewer to understand that it's not an additional piece of art that Duchamp made, but it is a real urinal. To go a little bit further and interpret this art, this piece was actually made to raise criticism about art. It challenges how broad art can be in its definition, which is what the Dada movement was trying to do. It also challenged artists personally, not only the public, but also artists, to accept that almost anything can be art. When we see the signature of Armut, it may be confusing because it doesn't go with Duchamp's name. But the reason why it's signed that way is because he got the R, and it stands for Richard, which is slang for money bags. And then Mutt is a play on words with Mutt Works, which was the type of cleaning company at the time, as well as Mutt, which was a cartoon character that was popular. And when you put those words together, Armut, it is a word for poverty, which contrasts with money bags. Basically, Duchamp had a good time using some wordplay with this piece. We also see that there was a 90-degree rotation in the urinal, and the purpose for that is because Duchamp himself liked to see things from a different perspective. This way, we might see less of the urinal and more of a piece of art. One other thing that we notice is that Duchamp himself did not sign the piece. He actually entered it anonymously. And the reason why he did that is because he wanted critics to react not based on his name, because he was already popular at the time, but because of the work itself. And if you research it, you will see that they actually initially rejected Fountain and called it a not true work of art. However, continuing to judge the art today, we actually see that this piece is successful under the expressive theory of art. The reason why it's successful is because it creates an emotional response in the viewer. The emotional response is curiosity and surprise, but also can be other mixed emotions, such as outrage or anger or disgust. We see that characteristic with the expressive theory, this piece is not exactly visually pleasing, but it does communicate a message that portrays emotional responses. We also see that this art challenged the limited view of art, and it caused surprise in people because they wouldn't think that Fountain would be considered a work of art. This piece ultimately made life more meaningful for people because they're able to see more things around them as art and broaden the definition of art in their own lives. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.